Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda. All glories to Shri Guru and to Shri Gauranga. We've come back, we're here with you for another brief reading and brief reflection on the spiritual life under the guidance of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Nityananda Prabhu, and our immediate guardians means the Vaishnavas, and Shri Guru and his grace, his guidance is grace. Any guidance we can get towards our proper goal, then this is definitely grace. And if we can follow that guidance, that is going to be the way to win the hearts of our masters and of the Vaishnavas. So today I have a short reading, and I just tried to stop this from dimming itself. And this season, if you like, we're leading up to Gaura Purnima. The next full moon is going to be the full moon of the Purnima of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's advent. Gauranga Sundar advented in Mayapur in Navadip, and over 500 years ago he came, at least, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, at least we can see he's a great reformer, a great example of what is spiritual life, and showing clearly the conclusion of the scriptures that the human life is meant for waking up our dormant love of Krishna, love of God. And so whatever we can do which is favorable, we shall try to do, and whatever we can avoid which is unfavorable, we shall try to avoid. So the most favorable thing is to get the guidance of those who are the residents of the land of beauty, sweetness, love and charm, those who are the residents of the land which distributes that beauty, sweetness, love and charm. And that land is indeed Mayapur, is indeed Navadip, the land where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very generously distributed love of God to everyone without any regard for their qualification in the sense of caste or creed, their present situation. Only they have to allow themselves to have a little faith and come and take shelter of the holy name of the Lord as given and presented heart to heart to heart from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the Parampara system. One candle cannot light itself, it needs to be lit from another candle. And this example has been given of the magnetic way, the way that from one candle another candle is given. Maybe not magnetic in that sense, but light to light, or from one magnet another magnet. Iron, a cold iron becomes magnetized, or from the heat, then cold iron becomes hot. But we need that element of heating, of magnetization. So what is favorable? One of the favorable items in our devotional life is visiting the holy places in the company of loving devotees, in the company of those who are preferably senior to us, who've got more experience in the devotional life, who are on the same path as us, have got the same goal, the same appreciation, and who are generous towards us, kind to us. And so with that transmission of kindness, but Vaishnava kindness, then we get some substantial enthusiasm, some substantial conviction in the path of our life. Because without some inspiration, without some conviction, then what are we doing? We're not just to participate in some formalities, some traditions, etc. But we're here to wake up our consciousness, to wake up. Wake up, sleeping souls, wake up, sleeping souls. In the ashrams we sing the song, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. Gaura Chandra Boliga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, wake up. Understand that we are sleeping in this illusory world. We're sleeping in this illusory world. Oh, excuse me. Okay, everything is all right. Electrical sounds behind me. We've got to be careful in this world. So Mahaprabhu says, wake up, sleeping souls. We are just covering ourselves with some illusions, some respite from the difficulties of the world with the various solutions which are only temporary, like relief from suffering, which are being given by the modern world. But Mahaprabhu is saying, have faith in the Lord, have faith in His holy name. It is the holy name which is everything to us. And so many aspects to devotional service and to chanting the name, chanting the glories of the Lord and of His devotees. And visiting holy places is a traditional activity, pilgrimage, going to holy places, but with the loving devotees who can share with us, as they understand and as they have received, the affectionate mood of the various places we go to in relation to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to Sri Krishna, and to the great Vaishnavas who have gone to those places before. So in the association of those who are senior, on the same path and generous to us, we can have a very successful pilgrimage and see beyond the external and understand, get some inspiration about what is behind what appear to be physical places that we visit. Heading the pilgrimage places is Navadip Dham. Navadip, the most generous of all the holy places, that in Kali Yuga is full with its power and potential for the jiva souls, the living entities. Whereas, as recorded in Sri Navadip Dham Mahatmya, the other holy places in this age are becoming burdened by the sin of those who are participating in trying to get cleansed of sin by bathing in the rivers and doing various things with the motivation of depositing their sin in these holy places. But in Navadip Dham, then sin is not taken into account, and the generosity of Nityananda and Gauranga Mahaprabhu is prominent. It is the main feature of the land of Navadip. So in Navadip, it is understood, as we understand from our masters, the predecessor acharyas, that is our main pilgrimage place, and all places are within Navadip. And Navadip and Vrindavan are non-different. And there are 10 offences to the holy Dham. We are stressing to the devotees who are on pilgrimage now, please learn the 10 offences. We have those listed in different places, and with keywords to help devotees remember. But one of those offences is to consider that Vrindavan and Navadip are different. There are 2 rooms, as Srila Guru Maharaj explains, 2 rooms in the highest quarter, like side by side, 2 rooms of the same house. And Navadip is a distribution area, the distribution zone of the Krishna Leela of Vrindavan. And so, which is first, the chicken or the hen? This expression is in the Western world, the English world anyway. So Mahaprabhu, he's recruiting, he's bringing, he's distributing the Leela of Krishna, and that Krishna Leela is taking place in its exposed form in Vrindavan and in its hidden form in Navadip. So visiting the holy Dham, we must be very careful, just like going anywhere which is like sacred, going anywhere. If you go to the king's palace, we must be very careful not to make the carpets dirty or not to break anything, not to touch anything. Some guidelines are there for going around a place which has got very valuable things within. And the Dham has very valuable things within. This is why we visit. So Gaura Purnima is coming up, and so it is traditional, it is common that the devotees from around the world naturally are attracted to come to Navadip, attracted to come to Vrindavan, attracted to come to Puri, in particular these 3 holy places in India, the specifically important places for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And some guidance has been given by Srila Gurudev, by Srila Guru Maharaj, by Srila Prabhupada, by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whom they are all representing. And this guidance is to be very careful with our conduct. Learn the 10 offenses to the Holy Dham and do the opposite. Avoid them by far. By far means to do the opposite of the offense. So now just a few words from Srila Gurudev, and a few words there from Divine Guidance, the book, and it's the chapter about, with the title, preparing to go to Vrindavan, perhaps. Let me just quickly get on the way to Sri Vrindavan Dham, yes. So within that chapter I am reading, and always, yes, we can say, yes, I read it before, but we are chanting the Maha Mantra every day. We chant it repeatedly every day. We chant many things on a daily basis, our Vandanam, various prayers, etc. And we can read what is good for us, and especially for time and circumstance. This time and circumstance being the build-up, or leading up to Gaura Purnima, and the pilgrimage of devotees from various sections coming to Vrindavan, coming to Navadip, coming to Puri at this time. So, from the chapter on the way to Vrindavan Dham, Srila Gurudev, he is giving some guidance. So this is Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. And he's saying, real vision is necessary, and that is the main thing. Otherwise, seeing the deity, seeing the Dham, or anything else is only an exercise of the eye. It is not actual vision, and we shall not gain real benefit from that. But Mahaprabhu said, now his crores of births have gone, and he can come and see me. This was in relation to Mukunda, who wanted to see the Lord's pastimes. But Mahaprabhu said, no, not at this time. After crores of lifetimes you can see me. But when this message was sent back to Mukunda, he was dancing and so happy. And they said, why are you so happy? He said, because I have that assurance that I will again see Mahaprabhu. Crores of lifetimes, maybe, but I will see him again. Then Srila Gurudev is describing more. Mukunda very much chastised himself that he had done wrong, and so had caused Mahaprabhu to at first refuse him entrance. This was to Srivasangam, where Mahaprabhu was dancing and chanting happily with the devotees. But Mahaprabhu then showed his real form to him, to Mukunda. Then Srila Gurudev is saying, so the main thing is that without devotion and transcendental knowledge, we can neither see the real Dham nor the real Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Leela, the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. All these are transcendental. Therefore, we cannot see them with our mundane eyes. That is the main thing. If we go to Vrindavan or stay in Navadip, the same is true. But still, these places are holy dhams, and they emanate auspiciousness. We can touch a drop of that if we stay there without offense. In that way, we can touch the glow of that jyoti, that effulgence. The dham is covered by illusion, but even so there is some brilliance, and that glow or brilliance of the dham may touch us if we stay there without offense. But if we stay there too long, we may become overly familiar, and then that glow may leave us. That glow is something like light, but it is more than that. It is the transcendental world, and it is fully conscious. It was for our instruction that Mahaprabhu advised to Jagadananda. Jagadananda, he wanted to go from Puri to Vrindavan and repeatedly asked Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu hesitated to give him permission, but finally he gave permission. But then Mahaprabhu advised Jagadananda, do not stay in Vrindavan for a long time, as there is more possibility of making offense. And do not go upon Govardhan hill, because this hill is a form of Krishna. And also in his guidance was always stay in the association of Rupa and Sanatan, and do not leave their association for a moment, to stay safely with the devotees. And then Srila Gurudev continuing, in the scriptures it is mentioned that Govardhana has two forms. One is as a servitor, and the other form is as Krishna himself, who accepts service from the devotees. So Mahaprabhu instructed to Jagadananda, don't go upon Govardhan hill, and when you stay in Vrindavan, you must stay with Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Under their guidance, no problem will arise, and there will be less chance to make offense. If you stay with them, you will not make any offense there. Staying with Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami is also a great responsibility. But by my order, you can stay there securely and follow their guidance. Hare Krishna. Then just dot a little bit. The main principle is that when we go to Vrindavan, we must follow a devotee. To keep ourselves within the proper conception, we must take the shelter, the ashraya, of a real devotee. Otherwise, if we think, I will do bhajan alone in Vrindavan, it may be most unbeneficial. Hare Krishna. And then still we can go ... So Srila Gurudev is giving caution about thinking we can go to Vrindavan and ourselves meditate on the Lord. And saying there were many Babajis. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, with his hands held to his forehead, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur said, I did not see any perfect Vaishnava in Vrindavan. This is my misfortune. That's quoting Srila Saraswati Thakur. So we must be very careful. Out of all those famous Babajis, then we can't step over everyone's head and think, oh no, I can be a perfect Vaishnava in Vrindavan. So then, just a little bit more, Srila Gurudev says, so we must be cautious with our knowledge. Knowledge is a type of power and should be used wisely. This caution has been given to us in the books, but transcendental knowledge is another thing. Still, if we can use even mundane knowledge wisely, we must gain some benefit. It was for this reason that Mahaprabhu told Jagadananda Prabhu, when you are in Vrindavan, use your knowledge wisely and you will be benefited. Follow Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, not by imitating their practicing life, their sadhana, but by following their directives. Then Srila Gurudev says, the scriptures advise us, you must follow what Krishna says, but you are not to try to imitate what he does. And the advice of Srimad Bhagavatam is, do not even think to imitate Krishna or his powerful devotees. Lord Shiva digested an ocean of poison, but you have no capacity to do that. If you try, you will die. Hare Krishna. So Gurudev is always cautioning us. We're always cautioned to be careful. Power, knowledge is a kind of power, transcendental knowledge. It is another matter, but it is all about power, and we must, something is there, something very powerful is there. We must be very careful wherever there is great power. So Srila Gurudev, just to kind of conclude, we have Srila Gurudev saying, Srila Govinda Maharaj saying, We have much news of the transcendental world, such as through the scriptures, but only when we can use that wisely and properly will we be benefited. Otherwise we will be the losers. Everywhere there is some danger, so we should always exercise caution. Hare Krishna. Of course, Srila Gurudev continues. He didn't speak only for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Srila Gurudev continues. But today we've been with devotees in the sense of through the electronic media. Then we've been live, means directly talking and seeing the devotees on parikrama. There are different groups from different places and in different places as we speak, in Vrindavan, in Govardhan, and in the holy places of India. And we've been with them, and we are feeling something of that glow, the transcendental glow of that land, through the devotees who are there. And we are reminding ourselves about what we see, maybe with the digital camera showing something, that's giving us a touch of the cover, and it's giving us a touch of the places of savor of the great souls, such as Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, and so many. But we must be very careful, even when we are not in the Dham, but like getting some glimpses through the modern facility. We must be very careful with our thinking, feeling, and willing, which comes with our life. That's a power itself, to have thinking, feeling, and willing. We must be very careful to identify with the Dham that is described by Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and the great souls. And that connection is through service, through chanting the holy name, through being with the devotees, and staying safe. So just a little reminder for us all. I think many of us, especially who are a little bit familiar with going on the pilgrimages in India, then naturally this time of year our hearts go on pilgrimage too and do visit places. But we must try to do all of this not in a sentimental way, like the emotional way, but in a devotional way. And in this way, reminding ourselves of the direction of Srila Guru Maharaj, the directives that he gave, the directives that Srila Gurudev gave, the directives that Sriman Mahaprabhu himself gave, then we can continue safely and happily engaging in the 9 practices of devotional service, which including remembering. We are here to remember, to hear about the Lord, the Lord's pastimes. We're here to remember that and to share those with others. And we must say that with humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, whether we are in the direct presence of the Vaishnavas or separated, but thinking of them and in touch with them in such a way, we must really, to all Vaishnavas, have humility, tolerance, and give honor, especially to the Vaishnavas, and in this way proceed safely. And Srila Gurudev, in describing something, he was saying, if we think badly about a Vaishnava, that is aparad. And a devotee quoted there is a verse which says, in Kali Yuga, then sin committed in the mind is not considered. But when it manifests in physical way, then the sin, it is considered. But Gurudev pointed out, but the word there is sin. It's not aparad. So we must be very careful about offense to the Vaishnavas, not only externally, but mentally. So we must always see the good in the Vaishnavas, be careful with our conduct with the Vaishnavas, and when we visit the Dham, be careful with our conduct with everybody and every living entity, not only the humans. And the third offense has 2, we say third offense, part A and part B. The part A is to be aggressive to the devotees, those who live in the Dham, and to the pilgrims, the visitors to the Dham. That's part A and part B. Or to think that they are ordinary. So there's lots to think about when we go through the offences to the Holy Dham. And we should, both whether we are directly one of those who are going there and with our bodies going on parikrama and visiting these places, or whether we are visiting by reading from the scripture and hearing from the Vaishnavas who are on parikrama. So not to have any ill feeling, even feeling, not to speak of wording, but any ill feeling, or to think that anyone is ordinary who is on pilgrimage and visiting the Dham. They're not ordinary, they're special. So let us all meditate on all these points. And the offences to the Holy Dham, they are found in various places and must be in Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which Srila Prabhupada gave as part of, he translated part of that book, which is quite extensive, and gave it the Nectar of Devotion, that title. But in the Veda base you'll see, and thinking in our books where it is, but the Veda base you must be able to find. If you can't find, you can ask me. We do have a listing which we share every year, several means at least twice a year, the time of the Gaurav, the Panima, which is now, and the time of the Vyasa Pujas, when devotees will come and visit the Dham. We'll always be stressing to the devotees, okay, now you're in the Dham, here, learn the 10 offences. Alright, dear devotees, let us all try to progress offencelessly, and let us take shelter of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. So Jai Srila Gurudev Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rockok Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Jai Srila Prabhupada Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. And Jai Srila Bhagavan Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. And Shri Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. And all the present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda, all those who are the Acharyas presenting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming through Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. My dandavat to all of the devotees, to all the sincere seekers. We are here in service and hoping to be able to be reflecting some of the light coming from our masters to those who wish to receive and hear. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May the Mahamantra be our dear friend of the heart. May the Lord be the dear friend of our heart. May the devotees be the dear friends of our heart. Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.